An old Plymouth on Muscle Car of the Week. There's a variety of reasons why they didn't sell very many 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda 4-speed convertibles. And I think the first reason is that 426 Hemi engine added a lot of money to the price tag on one of these cars. Then the insurance companies were starting to jack up the rates on muscle cars, which scared away some buyers. And convertibles never really sold as well as hardtop or other coupe versions. But luckily for us, today, we're spending time with one of the 5 that were built here on Muscle Car of the Week. It really doesn't matter if you are a Ford muscle car fan, or you like the GM products, or you're specific to Dodge, Chrysler, Plymouth products. It seems like everybody can agree that the Hemi-powered E-body convertibles produced by the Chrysler Corporation in 1970 and 1971 are some pretty hot items. I mean, these cars are always at the top of the auction prices. They are always featured in exclusive books and magazines. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. I mean, first of all, the Hemi cars are an extremely limited production. In 1970, they only made 14 Hemi-powered Plymouth Cuda convertibles. And of those, only 5 of them came with a 4-speed manual transmission. And just because something is of limited production doesn't necessarily make it valuable, but when it's a limited production car that also has a 426 Hemi V8 making 425 horsepower and 490 foot-pounds of torque under the hood, and has incredibly cool styling and other neat features like this car has, well, then you can see why these things are so sought after. Today we're looking at a 1970 Hemi Cuda convertible. This is one of the 5 produced with the factory 4-speed manual transmission, and to me has just the right combination of cool features to make it something that's very attractive to buy, even when it's painted in lemon twist yellow. Now I realize lemon twist yellow is not the color for everybody, and lemon twist yellow might not seem like a muscular color for a muscle car. It's one of the many high-impact colors offered by Plymouth back in 1970, but color might not be for everybody. There are enough other cool features on this car that make it desirable no matter what color it's painted. First of all, you've got a 426 Hemi with dual quads and 425 horsepower sitting underneath a shaker hood. You've got a pistol grip shifted 4-speed manual transmission, and that's hooked up to a 410 Sure Grip rear differential. Of course, the convertible top, the black stripe package, body color steel wheels with dog dish hubcaps. And when you consider that they only made 5 of these elements make this car cool even if they made 1 million of them. And for 1970, the mighty 426 Hemi was kind of mellowed out just a little bit. It still has the 10-to-1 compression and a dual quad multiple carburetor setup on top of the intake manifold, and it still made a ton of power and a ton of torque. But for 1970, they installed a hydraulic camshaft instead of a solid lifter cam, which meant the car's valve train would operate a little bit smoother as it basically adjusted itself. And the owner of the Hemi car didn't necessarily need to be taking valve covers off and making valve adjustments every couple thousand miles like you'd have to on a solid lifter car. Those earlier street Hemis were more of a race engine detuned for the street, but by 1970, these were far more refined as a street engine. And this car has the Super Track Pack, which gave it a 410 gear Sure Grip limited slip rear axle. So the driveline was purely built for speed. The exterior of the car was also kind of built for style. It's got the optional shaker hood scoop, and the shaker hood scoop is cool on so many levels. It's not only a neat design with the shape of the scoop, but it's also finished in a textured heavy flake argent and silver paint so that it accents basically any color you could paint the car. If you had a black car with the silver shaker hood scoop, the hood scoop looked great. And in this case, car's yellow, that shaker hood scoop still looks killer. In addition to that shaker scoop, This car has a nice mix of other trim textures and colors. It's a chrome bumper car. We see the bright exhaust tips peeking out through that lower rear valance. And for accents, we've got a black interior with a black Hemi hockey stripe, as they call it, on the quarter panels. Inside the car, the black bucket seats are offset by the wood grain on the dashboard and wood grain on the console. It's got a wood grain wheel, and it's got the Rally instrument cluster, which gives you a 150 mile an hour speedometer and the optional tachometer in the dash as well. There's a remotely adjustable driver's side chrome sport mirror, and the convertible top is actually power actuated on this car. Back in 1970, adding a convertible top option to your Hemi Cuda could have cost a few $100. Today, it could cost you more than $1 million. The driver's seat has an optional 6-way adjustable mechanism to make sure the driver's comfortable. And for something else to do, there's a Music Master AM radio installed in the dash. So yeah, the car's got a lot of very cool options, but with over 20 some colors available in 1970, who would have ordered a Hemi Cuda convertible in code FY1 Lemon Twist Yellow? I mean, many people would think that this is a more feminine color on a very masculine car. This car was built on October 12, 1969, and it was supposedly purchased by a man from British Columbia in Canada as a graduation present for his daughter. And apparently, she really liked yellow. And I gotta admit, I really dig Lemon Twist Yellow also. It's not a pastel faded yellow, and it's not like a signal orangey yellow. To me, it's the right amount of pigment and brightness, and of course being painted on a very rare and unbelievably collectible Hemi Cuda convertible. Well, I'd like it even more. This car is one of several Hemi Cuda convertibles in the Brothers collection, but it's probably the most noticeable. Unfortunately, most people on planet Earth will never get the opportunity to spend time with a real Hemi Cuda convertible. But thanks to your friends and ours at the Brothers Collection, we get to share these cars with you each and every week. So thanks for watching.